So I just want to make something clear for our okra, our soul, our ka, on this level of spirituality in relating from a Africanie, AKAN, Netet, or Kemet, Nubia, even down in Zimbabwe, from all over the continent of Africa perspective, spiritual perspective, in relations to the current European dominant paradigm globally. You have what's called isms. And so we have a new paradigm of consciousness, because when the European first take control of the world completely, wherever they take over, they destroy all the knowledge. They destroy all the knowledge bearers. They take all of it for themselves that they want to use as a weapon against the people they take it from and anyone else, and to benefit themselves. And it's been going on for 4,000 years since the Europeans set out manifest destiny to take over the world. Before they even called themselves European, they were working toward this. Their very existence is this. So irregardless who's listening, European, Asian, whether you speak English or not, if you find this important, take the video, put subtitles of your language on it. The point is this: comment, do videos, say what you want, like it or not. This paradigm that has currently been going on of propagation and promoting of ignorance. The human race is in an amnesia of what it originally was, in a skeleton of what it originally was, necronomic, ignorant, you know. So I just want to say these isms, Christianity is an ism, Hinduism, Buddhism came from Asia. Well, Europeans came up with this thing called ism. And anything that's ismable is because they can use it as a weapon, psychologically, psycho-spiritually, or monetarily in the economic system. Sell books about it, create ideas and bodies of ideas, ideologies, and make movies about it and create debates on it. You keep people make products out of it and about it. It's monetariable. So isms have taken on the world: capitalism, socialism, communism, democracy is the ism. All of this is what I'm talking about. It's all fading because we're all seeing the truth now, because social media made so much information accessible to the most ignoramus person that wouldn't even pick up a book back in the 90s is now aware of things that people like me had to read in books, and devoted our life to reading these spiritual bodies, or these self-help books, or even these revolution books about liberation. And they're getting credit, and they want credit overnight. But let me tell you something. These isms are fading out, but there's something that has never been made ism because it was so outcasted by Europeans, so hated, so damn blasted, and so propagated against, and so even the knowledge and the wisdom of it and the skills of it was taken and used for those that same people, the Europeans, the white race, the white supremacists, used it in their dark side, in their dark forces. Because that's all wickery and witchery and Satanism, Luciferianism is really the knowledge of the netter or nature, the knowledge of astrology and astronomy and the cosmos, the knowledge of the power of time, the knowledge of the power of interdimensional powers and wormholes. All this comes from the spirituality of the okra, the soul of the African, the original indigenous black human beings of the Mother Earth. Because we are directly through melanin connected to the powers, the forces, you call it gods and goddesses, whomever you are and wherever you see it, the conscious powers and forces that establish the principles of this world, which we all, regardless of who we are, have to abide by, and even of other worlds in different dimensions. The deepest darkness and the most outer reaches of those darknesses is where we're communicating, connected to the Almighty. Our spirituality is rejected and completely been taught to be ran from and scared of, called voodoo, called evil. Black is evil, dark is evil. But really, it's righteousness, it's truth, and it's where all colors come from. It's where all truth comes from. You have to go find the truth because you don't have it. You don't go find the truth in the light that's out and everything's clear and vision to see. Apparently you didn't get it from that. So you had to go into the darkness to find it and get it. So what I'm saying is because the Africanie, AKAN, Zimbabwean, and Ket or Kemetic, Nubian people from the bottom of what's known as Africa, which is really the top because the map should be upside down, which would be right side up, all the way down to Kemet, from Zimbabwe, which is now South Africa, the Zulu area, Hosa, which is the most furthest part of Africa down at the bottom, and then all the way up through what they call the Middle East was really Africa, which was the Kemetic civilization. All I'm saying is that spirituality has been by the European, the white man, who established what was known as the Dark Age, where no one could learn. So about that, they started letting people learn, and they came out with what was called the printing press. They teach lies, and no one could remember what happened because for 2,000 years they just waged wars and wouldn't let none of their own people learn, so they can establish lies in the minds of those people and make them efficient, brain-dead warriors, soldiers. An entire race of people known as Europeans were nothing but soldiers. They had nothing to offer the world but violence and lies and rape and disease. Nothing good to bring to any creature or animal. Nothing good to bring to any people or civilization. Only murder, violence, and evil. And this is what the entire European race has brought. And it has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with me or anybody or any other race. It has to do with that's who they or you are and what you've done. I'm not talking about you as an individual. I'm talking about what you as a people have done. To this day, you're still doing it to hold power and control over the Mother Earth. The great Yahweh. Yahweh knows better than such wrong, but it is ordained and allowed for now. What I'm saying, we're going to a new paradigm. It's shifting. No longer will these isms have any power because that dark age is ending. We're at the end of the dark age. We're still in the dark age. As long as the Europeans, the whites are ruling the world, it's the dark age. Because the truth isn't accepted and perpetuated, but it's starting to be. That's why you see so many white and Europeans telling the truth, because they don't want to live a lie, and they're fighting and even getting killed and putting their life in the line to tell the truth. And that's why so many blacks are starting to suffer. And there was only just a few decades in the United States of America where blacks weren't being publicly just proudly destroyed, but now it's proud on video. It's because that the whites are suddenly want to be proud on video as a cop or a white man to kill blacks. It's because it never went anywhere. It's the nature of the beast. So what the real truth is and the real threat is the vibratory rate. It's not about race. The vibration isn't allowing the lies to stand any further. And the only thing that never was ism came out of Africa, which is the African spirituality, the African ancestral spirituality, and the African deities, the AKAN, the Homanian revelation and enlightenment spirituality known as Voodoo or Ifa, the AKAN teachings, up to the Incat, Nubian, Kemetic teachings. All this was outcasted, totally rejected, and unacceptable. Over the last 100 years, white people and Europeans have been perpetuating themselves as being Hindus and Buddhists. Because that's acceptable. It's an ism. Ideas. The truth is, African spirituality isn't based off of ideas. Ideas came from African spirituality. African spirituality is based off the original energy of creation and the creators of the original creation. The Bosum are the ancestors, and you all and we all as Africans have our own pantheons of the Bosum. And so we have our universal function as human beings to perpetuate MAAT. Yet we have our own pantheon as you could be a devotee unto Yahweh or toward the masculine father energy, God energy of Yahweh. So, or you could be devotee on the pantheon of Elekba. So, or you could be the pantheons of the ancient Kemetic and Nubian as the Amen or Amenet or the Ran Ranet. We'll leave it there. Love every time. This whole ism, this whole lie about life is ending. The only thing the truth will stand that was never ismable, the white people never perpetuated themselves to be, and can't be accepted to be perpetuated like some are trying, and some of these fraudulent Africans are bringing Europeans in to wear African, Senegalese, and Nigerian clothes to play Ifa, and getting these Arabs to play Ifa. It's a different. That's not energy frequency is the issue. They don't have any direct connection, so it's just fraudulent. This is not a religion. This, or you don't. And it's the original bloodline, the original melanin. It's the original Africanie, AKAN, the Home. Irregardless if you're Tweed, who, you know, that original, even if you're in the it doesn't matter. So that's what I need you to know, that out of all this ism and all this capitalism and all this European rule, the only thing that was completely rejected is the same, which is African spirituality will be the same ruler of the world, because it will be the only thing that stands, that was pure, that was kept clean, that was it could not be adapted and manifested by Europeans. It could not. They couldn't put on African clothes and fake, because they white. And I'm saying this, and I got mixed with white from some of my ancestors from back with my dad's side. So think about it. This whole paradigm is gone. That's what I'm saying. And the only thing that was never really, the people were poisoned with European ideas and religion, but the spirituality is unpenetrable because it's only perpetuatable. Voodoo, Ifa, any of it. Akan, only way it could be is through an okra of the Africanie. And that's us. So that's why the Europeans made it evil, and it can never be acceptable, and it never will be. But it will rule the world again, and soon. Love every time.